Uh, I want to thank everybody that commented on my question from last week, and everybody that asked me questions. I really like answering questions. I really like hearing everybody's answers to them, and any comments about what I would have said or whatever. Um, I want to thank Jared Osborne for telling me that those Supreme Blue Rose covers lined up, because I did not recognize that. As many times I've looked at them, I didn't recognize that they lined up. I noticed they were all real similar, but hadn't really ever realized that. Um, but it was cool seeing that there were a couple of people out there that had some series that I agree with, that I would like to see back. I really miss Frankenstein. I really miss Dark Knight. Um, I really miss Amethyst Swords of Sorcery. Um, I really miss Lara Fleece. That just never really gave that series a shot. But anyway, thanks everybody that answered my questions and all. Um, some people asked me questions. Sleepy Reader asked me, based on my authors that I named off on my favorite authors last time. Uh, Clearly, I like horror, and I do. Horrors are my favorite kind of books. Um, is that also my favorite comic genre? And I think in comics, because they're more visual, that I really like sci-fi. I think that the majority of comics that I like to read are sci-fi. Um, I do like some horror books, um, but for the most part, I think that when I'm reading a book, the what I visualize happening in the surroundings are never met by when you put it in any kind of movie or anything like that. And then there's a lot of books, a lot of movies that I don't read the books because of the fact that I like the movies so much. I don't want to go back and read the book. But I think I probably like sci-fi though in comics a whole lot more than I like anything else. Um, Marcy's Little Show asked me if I could only read one writer for the rest of my life, who would it be? It would probably be Colin Bunn, uh, because of the fact that I've read superheroes like Sinestro that he writes that are really good. I've read random stories that he's written that are really good, monster things that he's written that are really good. I really like Colin Bunn. Um, and so that would probably be who I would pick. Plus, he puts out about six or seven series a month, so that would give me plenty of reading material. Uh, Also, I'm really starting to like Justin Jordan a lot. Like I've said before, I don't really like so much his New Guardian stuff, but his independent stuff I really do care for. Even though some of it doesn't seem to be all that original, uh, but it's pretty good. If I only had to read one comic, it would or one author on a comic, it would probably be Peter Tomasi on Batman and Robin, because I really like Batman and Robin. Um, T-Bird asked me that given that her knowing what my superpower would be if I had a superpower, which would be like mutation of liquid, what would my costume be like? And I think that my costume would probably be something along the lines of like the Metal Men and like Platinum or Gold or somebody. I really like those. Really like those characters. Um, Something along the lines like Silver Surfer or something like that. Very like glossy. I think that I would like to be able to change it though, like whatever liquid or whatever I was using, I would like that to be what coated me. Like if I was water, I would be totally covered in water and like kind of translucent and something like that. And I would definitely be a bad guy, and I believe that my name would probably be Red Tide. Uh, just because whenever I like suck the blood out of somebody's body, I think I would just cover myself in like a sheen of like I would look like a badass. Um, Reader 1717 asked me how I got into reading comics, and I got into reading comics by my dad read Mad Magazine, and so growing up I read Mad Magazine because I thought that it was funny, and I really liked those little fold things in the back of Mad Magazine. And then I collected baseball cards, And my dad thought that I should collect comic books if I was going to collect something because I'd be reading. And so he brought me home, I guess from maybe a garage sale or something. He brought me home some Fantastic Four comics and some different comics, Daredevil and something else. I don't remember what the other one was. But then back when I started collecting comics, you could only buy things off magazine racks. And the only things that my magazine rack that was down the road from my house got were Marvel titles. And they also got a couple of offshoots, like they got Archie comics, and they got, I guess, Pacific comics, because one of the first things that I started really reading was Gru comics from Pacific whenever it came out. And I read Gru, and then I was still reading Fantastic Four and Daredevil, and then I started reading Transformers and G.I. Joe because I liked the cartoons, and read them for a long time, and then read up until about the mid-90s, and then I just kind of got disenchanted with comics, and then my son was born, and kind of quit reading, didn't get back into it until about 3 or 4 years ago. There's so much catching up to do on it. But Drew Carson asked me if I could meet a fellow YouTuber, who would it be? And people kind of freak me out. So I don't really know that I would want to meet anybody in person, because I'm really freaking weird in person. Yeah, I don't really know who I'd want to meet. If I had to meet somebody, I would probably say that I would really kind of like to meet Jason the Dude. I feel like me and him have got a lot in common. I wouldn't mind meeting T or Marcy, because it seems like I talk to them quite a bit, or Sleepy or something like that. If I had to pick from like all of YouTube of who I'd want to meet, it'd probably be Nerdburger, because she absolutely cracks me up, and I would like to go to like some kind of like one of her little like backpack things that she goes to, that like have all the like backpacks that are themed with all kinds of crap inside of them. Looks like that would be a whole lot of fun. But then Derek Lucarelli asked me which Stephen King I thought was a better adaptation, It or Salem's Lot. Well, I did not like the TV version of It, although I did like seeing Tim Curry in that, because I really liked him in Legend. And I've never actually read Salem's Lot, but I really like the movies. So I would say out of those two that I would probably pick Salem's Lot. But if I had to pick a best TV adaptation of a Stephen King book, I would probably pick The Stand, because although they merged a lot of characters, I thought that the gist of the book was pretty much there, and I really liked that. That's something that I've watched over and over again over the years. Best movie adaptation is probably Misery. I really liked that movie, and I thought Kathy Bates did an excellent job in that character. But yeah, so that was the questions that were asked to me. My question, I guess, is so I'm trying to branch out and read characters that I haven't really ever read before, and like the Hulk or Spider-Man or Iron Man or the Avengers or X-Men or something like that. And I was wondering if anybody out there has a favorite trade that I could read that really would show that character, in a really good story, because I've never really read them, so I don't know what the reason for that is, but I'm willing to expand my horizons and try to read those things. But anyway, that's about all I got to say about that, and I'm going to get off here.